What up, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a fun one. I know a lot of people probably set a New Year's goal to avoid fast food. Maybe you're doing great at it, maybe you're not. But I'm here to help you out. We're gonna make fast food at home. What's great about this is that you can save yourself money, obviously. Also, you control the ingredients and you can customize it to really what you like. And one of these fast food places is not available anywhere in my area. So I love the idea of doing a copycat recipe. Then I get to enjoy it without having to drive 3,000 miles to go pick it up. So in today's video, we're gonna be taking on Taco Bell's Crunchwrap. We're gonna do an In-N-Out animal style burger. That's the one that I would have to drive to because I'm in Florida. In-N-Out's all the way on the West Coast. And last but not least, we're gonna do a fun little treat and we're gonna take on the Wendy's Frosty. If you happen to be new here, hi, how are you? How's the family? Thank you so much for clicking on that thumbnail and giving me a chance. On this channel, I do a lot of recipe videos like this one. So if you're looking for some help when you're doing meal planning, feel free to check out the rest of my channel. I have plenty of videos with lots of good recipe ideas. I also share the finds from different stores. So if you're looking for haul videos for Costco, Trader Joe's, Sam's Club, I've got you covered there as well. And if you end up enjoying my energy, please feel free to subscribe before you leave. Without further ado, let's dive into the first recipe. All right, so we are starting this fast food party with some Taco Bell Crunchwraps. Now for these, I'm not truly copying Taco Bell exactly. Instead, I'm making a version I know my family specifically will love, and I also am sneaking in some vegetables. I recently shared a video, which I will link down below, where I made some hidden vegetable quesadillas, and that same beef mixture is what I'm using in these Crunchwraps. In a skillet, I just seasoned some grass-fed ground beef with taco seasoning. I used the Kinder's chili cheese seasoning, and I cooked it until it was brown. And then I added in a little bit of lime juice, I'd say probably about a tablespoon, a can of refried beans, about a cup of shredded zucchini, a handful of spinach, and a handful of cheese. I stirred that all together until it was well combined, and then I set it on the side. And then what I did was I took a tortilla and I sprayed it with some cooking spray and then flipped it over. I put some Chipotle ranch dressing I grabbed at Target on the bottom, but you can use whatever you like, taco sauce, salsa, queso. Then I plopped down a couple tablespoons of the beef mixture, added some extra shredded cheese, a round tortilla chip, and then some shredded lettuce. I closed up the tortilla by overlapping it over itself several times, creating almost like a fan look, and then I repeated that same process with all of the tortillas. In a very large skillet, I placed each Crunchwrap down with the fan side down. I had a huge pan, so I was able to fit a good amount of these in there, but make sure you don't overcrowd your pan. Make it in batches as you need to. I cooked them on each side 4 to 5 minutes until they were golden brown. A couple of mine went a little too long, but that's fine. Everything's fine. And then you can just serve these up with extra sauce to dip it in or some sour cream if you want to. All right, friends, I'm so excited about this one. I know I say that for everything, but just forgive me. We're gonna make the In-N-Out animal style sauce, and I'm just gonna be kind of winging it. I'll have a recipe down below, but I'm starting with the sauce first because I wanna get it in the fridge while I'm doing everything else. That way it can kind of marinate together. You could do this way earlier. Doing about a cup of mayonnaise, and we're gonna do about 1/4 cup of ketchup. Good. We're gonna do a couple tablespoons of yellow mustard. If you wanted to use Dijon, you could. It'll just give it a little more of a bite. Yeah. We're doing 2 tablespoons of sweet relish, sweet pickle relish. We're just gonna do a little touch of sugar. Nothing crazy, just a little bit. And then we're doing salt and pepper. And then I'm just gonna taste it, make sure I don't need to add any salt or pepper. That is perfection. So I'm gonna stick this in the fridge while I work on the burgers themselves. By the way, I don't shop at Walmart too often, but I got this Pioneer Woman set last year and I'm obsessed with it. It comes with a bunch of mixing bowls. I think there's 6 total and the lids. And every time I cook, it just brings me such joy because it has such pretty patterns on it. So if you're ever at Walmart, check out and see if they still have this because I just think it's so cute. Okay, we have a pound of ground beef. This is 85/15. We're gonna season with salt and pepper. And if you want yours just like a classic hamburger, that's all you need, salt and pepper. But I'm gonna be seasoning with some cowboy butter as well. But you could use steak seasoning, burger seasoning, all-purpose seasoning, whatever you have on hand that is your favorite. I'm gonna flip my hamburger over and season this side as well. I'm just gonna mix it all up to get the seasoning worked through it, nothing crazy. And then to try and get an even split for these hamburgers, I do something that I saw Rachel Ray do forever ago, and I just score it with an X. It's not perfect, but it gets you a pretty even split on the patties. And we're gonna make these relatively thin patties because that's how In-N-Out style is. And I always like to press the center down and make the center be a little bit thinner. That's something else I learned from Rachel Ray, because with burgers, they tend to puff up in the center. So you kind of want to compensate for that prior. So when you make the patties, just make that center portion be a little bit thinner. Okay, the other thing I'm gonna do is I am going to get these buns in the oven. That sounds funny, buns in the oven, you know? John is working on a home renovation project. If you hear his biceps working in the background, that's what that is. I'm going to melt some butter for this, and then we're gonna toast it in a 350-degree oven just for like 5 or 6 minutes. Okay, so I let this cook a couple minutes on that first side. The oven is ready for the buns. Gonna get those buns in the oven for a few minutes. Here they are. And we're gonna flip again. John and I both like the burgers done more like medium, so I'm just gonna pop some white American cheese on each of these, but you can just use whatever your favorite cheese is. And I have turned off the, what is that called, the heat. I'm just gonna let that melt down for about a minute, and then we'll put everything together. All right, let's assemble now. I'm gonna start by putting the burger bun down, and we're gonna put a little spoonful of that In-N-Out sauce on there. Now my plate is on the right because I'm always right. John's plate is on the left. You know why. On mine, I'm gonna be adding some pickle chips. John said he didn't want any, so I'm just gonna drop a few of those on there. These are bread and butter ones, so they have like a little bit of a sweetness to them. They're my fave. I'm also gonna do a little diced onion on mine. John also declined. Beautiful. John said he would like a double, so we're gonna give him a double. And I'm going single for mine. I'm gonna add more of the sauce. Let it run down all dramatically. Boom. And I'm gonna go ahead and top it. Boom. Check that out, you guys. Tell me that's not beautiful. Friends, we are going to attempt to make a Wendy's Frosty. So we're gonna start with the ice cream first. And I just bought some store brand, but I got like vanilla bean. But I would imagine you could use whatever your favorite flavor is, or favorite brand. Haagen-Dazs would probably be great. We're doing 4 cups of vanilla ice cream. So I'm honestly just kind of eyeballing like 4 generous scoops of it. Now we need 2 cups of whole chocolate milk. You could get the 2% chocolate milk, but it might not be as creamy. And then we are gonna do about 6 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. And I'm just gonna eyeball that. That's right about a half a jar. I'd say that was about half the jar. All right, and now we are just gonna go ahead and blend this up. John's very excited about this.
Been walking away, ready for some
movie face.
Is that animal style?
Animal style. And yours is a double-double. I think that's what they call it.
Double-double.
I just want to address my face real quick. I have hair dye everywhere. I was not murdered earlier. I just got my hair done.
I mean, if you were murdered earlier, you wouldn't be here now.
I would haunt you, so I would 100% be here. If I get murdered, I'm coming back to find you. Anyways, I went with a single. Still animal style though, because I feel like it's disrespectful to try and do it any other way. I'm so nervous. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. I need to hear your thoughts first, sir.
My thoughts are the flavor is on point.
On point.
On point.
But it's like a simple burger, classic Americana. Yes. You know what I mean? I think that it's better than In-N-Out.
I would agree. In-N-Out's patties are real thin.
Yeah.
This is like a thicker In-N-Out patty.
I actually like intended for it to be thinner than it was. Like it was seriously so thin that you could see when I first put it on the the skillet, you could see through to the skillet in the middle. Like that's how thin it was. But I think when I was like flipping them and stuff, they started to kind of puff up. They were in bulk season, you know? Sauce-wise, what did you think of the animal style?
You know what's funny? Is I'm not a huge fan of animal style there.
But I'm
a fan of that.
Well, we also haven't had In-N-Out in probably 8 years now. Right?
No, full.
No, you remember the last time we had In-N-Out, it was awful?
Yeah, in the RV.
Yes, and it was so bad.
It was terrible.
So we haven't had a good In-N-Out experience in a very long time.
Yes.
That sauce, even if you don't want to make that for burgers, if you want to make some French fries and make that sauce for yourself.
Yeah, agreed.
The sauce is phenomenal.
Sauce is fantastic.
It's so good. So I would definitely recommend making that. I think overall, I'm going, this is hard. I think I'm going to do 8.5.
I'm going 9.5.
9.5. That's a
fantastic burger.
It really is.
I like a good, well-cooked, simple burger.
Simple.
Like that is cooked perfectly.
Yes, doesn't need to have all the bells and whistles.
No.
That bun is so good too. Yes. That's a brioche bun.
Agreed.
And I don't know, like I usually like the potato buns, but I think that just bumps the potato buns out for me.
Fact.
That was really good because it's like soft, but also has like a buttery, like crispy outside part.
Right.
So I think overall, those need to be on your menu. If you're a burger fan, they need to be on your menu. John, it's John approved.
It's John approved.
Now listen up. I gotta tell you guys something because you're my friends. The Wendy's Frosty, I'm skipping a step. We're just gonna try a Wendy's Frosty milkshake at this point because in order for it to be a Frosty, I would need to run it through an ice cream machine or stick it in the freezer for like 6 to 8 hours.
We don't have time for that.
We're not playing around with that. So instead, we're gonna have a Frosty milkshake, but if you wanna have like an actual Frosty, if that's what you've been craving, you would either want to put this in the freezer in like a freezer safe container for 6-ish hours, I would guess, just until it sets up. Or if you have an ice cream machine like the Ninja Creamy, you could just run it through it for whatever the machine tells you to, and it'll turn it into ice cream. We have a KitchenAid ice cream attachment, but it takes about a half hour to run, and your girl, she don't have the energy to do it. So instead, we're gonna go with a milkshake, okay? I don't think you guys needed all of that data, but I provided it anyway. Here it is. So we're gonna be grading it on the flavor compared to a Wendy's Frosty. This is a Frosty in our house.
That's a Frosty milkshake.
This is a Frosty milkshake.
You know what that tastes like? It doesn't even taste like a Frosty milkshake. It tastes like a Frosty you ordered.
And it melted.
And then you left it.
And you live in Florida and it's 127 degrees and your windows are open and it immediately...
Facts.
Yeah, that's what this is.
That's what that is. That is fantastic.
That is amazing. And it's perfect to go with a burger, bro. Like, come on. I'm going 9.
I'm going 9 as well.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, if you want a Frosty at home, done. John, it's 3 ingredients. It's chocolate milk, vanilla ice cream, and I didn't even use good vanilla ice cream. I used store brand. Well, it's good, but you know what I'm saying. And sweetened condensed milk, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. And if you didn't have chocolate milk, but you had milk and chocolate sauce, you could easily do it. Or you could probably just make like a vanilla version of it. You know what I mean? Without the chocolate milk. So that's amazing. So we're both giving that a 9. Crunchwraps, let's talk about that. So remember when I made those little mini Crunchwrap Supremes or whatever? So good. Now I'm gonna say of the 3 recipes, that one veered off path the most. It's not exactly like the Taco Bell Crunchwrap. However, there was hidden veggies in it and it ended up being a family fave. Everybody loved it. I will say this though, I don't know how Taco Bell does the Crunchwrap where it stays crunchy. Because every time we've made it, and the people that I've witnessed on Instagram making it, when they break it open, you can tell theirs is soft as well. So I don't understand how Taco Bell gets the crunch to stay crunch.
Chemicals. So chemicals.
Probably. But it still was fire. So those guys, I'm giving a 9.
I'm giving it a 9 as well.
Yes.
Those are ridiculous.
And what I love about them is you can customize them however you like them. If you want to do like shredded chicken in there instead, if you wanted to do ground turkey, ground chicken, you wanted to do a veggie one, you could do like a veggie one with some beans and make it vegetarian. I'm sure there's a way you can make it vegan. I'm not cool enough to know what goes into vegan, but I'm sure there's a way to turn that vegan. So I think that's the best part about it, is it can really be customized to whatever your nutrition needs are. So anyways, that wraps up today's video. Those are our 3 fast food finds at home. I hope we delivered whatever you needed when you clicked on that thumbnail. We're getting that feedback to corporate. I almost forgot to say it.
We don't want to get in trouble.
Oh gosh, they give me a script and I almost never follow it.
You're gonna get written up.
I'm gonna get written up one of these days. One of these days, man, I'm gonna get written up. All right, anyways, I hope we delivered whatever you needed when you clicked on that thumbnail, and I hope you have a magical day. Bye.